My movie maker.
Hi everybody, it's Sam. I haven't done a video in a really long time, so I decided to do one. I think it was in the middle of November that I did my last one, and I just wanted to update on things. Um, I know in my last one, I believe I did say that the spiritual things that were going on with me for the past year, my shaman friends and I did do a healing on that eventually that has turned around the original problem. So the original thing that was going on with me is no longer an issue. I'm still vulnerable to, something similar happening, and I have a lot of healing to do, but I've done well with what was the original problem, and it was amazing to have that turned around. Yeah, so I stopped seeing what's her name? I stopped seeing, oh god, Megan. I stopped seeing Megan at the Awakening Center because I felt like I was very peaceful. And I felt like, most everything that she could teach me on anxiety and depression and everything, I was learning on a much deeper level, on the energetic, spiritual, healing level from my friends. And I just felt like also some of the things that were coming up for me were all sort of in that category of, psychic, energetic things that even as open as she was, which was extremely open, sitting and talking to her about these things would just be, she would want to listen. There really isn't much she could say on a topic that she really didn't understand, and had no reference point for, except that's interesting. And she was really great about it. And, I will always say that the big gift for me and healing for me with her was her complete compassion and just openness to whatever was going on with me. Here there were all those practitioners that saw, the dissociation and the, coming out of what appeared to be alters at the time, and they're just either oh my goodness, no, I just don't know what to do, or this isn't as bad as it looks, or just could not even, do anything on it besides nothing. Make me feel worse or ignore me basically and leave me to my own devices, and people around me like my family and Jess to our own devices with nothing on it. And even really the psychiatrist just said oh, go to therapy, whatever. So to have her hear all that she saw a whole session of me in that place, she was just fine with it. She's like, yeah, these are different parts of you, and it seems like they have a lot to say, and she was also very open to the idea that they weren't parts of me and that they were other things that were around me and trying to mold with me. So she was open to both possibilities, which was really great. And she never questioned my spirituality as some part of me being unstable or anything. She really listened, and really sort of felt honored, I guess, to work with me and learn what she did learn about empaths and, energy, and the big turnaround I had when I, once I started working, because it happened pretty much at the same time, although I started working with my friends a few weeks back from when I started working with her, I think. But it was pretty close. And I guess it just so happened that, we got going, and the energetic healing always happens faster than any mental talk therapy. Both are great. Whatever you can do to heal is amazing. It just so happened that, we started on what we were doing, and, it's just how things went. But Megan had a lot of appreciation for what my friends were doing with me. My friends had a lot of appreciation for Megan, and it was a really good thing. So yeah, that was. We, like I said, I only saw her for a few sessions, but it was really good. She gave me that essential oil thing with a little box with a little stuffed Eskimo thing in it that still smells like peppermint, and which is cool. And just her openness and just the whole vibe of the center, the Awakening Center in Chicago. Highly recommend it. And her, I mean, she really, if I needed therapy again and needed to see her, I guess I would. And, well, the other thing that I wanted to say, too, was that, say I hadn't connected with my friends and gone down the spiritual route, and I had just been like, okay, this is a mental health problem. No one is hearing me, whatever. If I had gone with her and gone down the route of therapy, she would have been great with it. Like, she was just like, who cares about the diagnosis, basically. She's like, well, diagnosis is really only for the insurance, and, for us, here at this center, we don't really put anything down on a diagnosis at all. We just, like, work with you as a person and, make notes, but not for a specific box. And that's what people were so hung up on, was the possible diagnosis of this thing that no one ever really took a look at to see what it even was on a mental health side, and except her. That 2-hour intake was like a huge breath of fresh air for her to really, see what was going on and just be like, yeah, you were like endlessly invalidated by the mental health system, and I'm here to help you. And that kind of collaboration, if it had come to that, would have been huge, because we could have gone down that path of, okay, this is what's going on. These are these people, and I'm going to, share my life with them and everything else like that, and tried to go through, what could have caused it and different things like that. I guess I'm seeing through looking at the mental health side and the kind of like energetic healing side that, like, there's amazing aspects to both, but that the energetic healing side can often far outpace, the mental health, and do it on layers of stuff that, like, you wouldn't even know was a thing, on the talking, mental health side, like, you wouldn't even know that, this, all emotions and everything is just energy. And so if you're feeling something really terrible, whether it happened in something that you can consciously remember or not, doesn't even matter. You just, move the energy and the thing goes away, and that's not something that I heard of really until they were telling me about it. My friends were telling me about it, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. No, like, that cannot be true. And it was totally true, and I was just like, really? Wow. But so yeah, I stopped seeing her, and I think I'm still happy with that. I had a few setbacks on my original problem type thing, where I was like, I wonder what's going on. Like, why is this happening again when it shouldn't be? But really, I then figured out that it's just another example of my continued vulnerability to this kind of spiritual issue, like problem. So again, I guess that's just something that is, I just have to keep reminding myself, it is a not a psychiatric, like, disorder, or a problem in that sense, even though it looks so much like it, to anyone that's watching, except my friends, and I guess other people that do this similar thing. So that's been good. My meds are good, and I saw Dr. Cleary, psychiatrist, last week. He actually looked up my friend's books, which is really cool, like, in front of me on his phone, and he was just, like, laughing at some of the really weird reviews, like someone that gave the book, like, 3 star or 2 stars or something just because they lost the book. They're like, I give this 2 stars. I lost the book. When I find the book again, I'll read it and, like, increase my stars. And then someone else wrote, like, this story did not give me any information on, like, what I really wanted to know. Or, like, this story really, like, messed up my energy. And even Dr. Cleary was like, I think your energy would have been messed up beforehand. But no, he listened, and he seemed fine with it. I mean, everyone was relieved around here because they didn't know what to do anyways. So of course, if they hear that it's better, it's like, well, okay, phew, that's good, because now she can stop talking about it. I mean, they're not going to say that out loud, but I can tell from the people's, reading their energy and how they were around me, the staff here, and I, just confirmed that whenever I would talk about this stuff, they just have these expressions on their faces like, huh? What? And now what are we supposed to say? Like they just had no idea on it. And I think the biggest freeing thing for me was to be able to talk to my friends about those experiences. I mean, not just the huge one. The huge one was, the big thing that needed to change, but little things, like one day I was like, well, I feel this difference in water, and I went on and on to explain it, and, people around here were just like, okay. And then I told my friends, and they're like, oh, that makes perfect sense, because it was like an energy-based, like, psychic thing. And so they had a complete reference for it. But anyways, so while I didn't tell him about any of that, I did. He was happy that I am doing better and that I had the therapy. And of course, he was like, well, it wouldn't hurt to check in with the therapist every so often, because, psychiatrists don't like fully believe in that shamanic stuff, at least none that I've met. But he wasn't like totally dismissive. I mean, these doctors have like a million things to do. If you're not like really bad, like they're not going to do very much, unfortunately. So everyone is like so relieved, and I'm like, okay, why am I here again? Which brings me to like, so next week is Christmas, and I really miss my family already. Today was the anniversary of the huge thing of last year when everything started, and I thought it was going to be a really hard day. It wasn't, like, I guess it kind of was. Like, I just tried to hang out and listen to my books and whatever. And it wasn't in that way. It was, like, thinking about my family and missing them and, like, being glad that at least I did see them in 2017 with the conference I went to. But, it's hard because, our house is sold and they're in this tiny condo, and we can't see each other for the holidays. And I just keep thinking about all the holidays that I purposely, basically snub them. And so, that makes me feel really, really bad. Not just missing them, but thinking about all the times I purposely avoided them and created a lot of drama over really nothing big. So yeah, I mean, so that's hard. And I guess it's just hitting me this year a lot because I have had a lot of changes in myself this year around the healings I have had and understanding like what I did do to hurt my family, very badly. I feel very badly. They don't say it, but, I wonder why, and, they have every right, but, I don't know. Anyway, so life at Clayton in general, I'm doing good with Lakeisha. She's fine. She's a good caseworker. She gets it done. So that's good. I haven't gone to any groups still. I do go to art therapy every so often. It's hard because it's at 10:30 in the morning and I'm not functional till like noon. So that's hard. But Angela is awesome, the art therapist, and I've shown her work with me before. So I have that, and in the new year I might try to do some groups because, hey, I'm living here and I might as well like take advantage of it, even though it's far different from what I was told and expected. But and I'll do a separate video on that, I think, because this has gone on like way too long. And if you've watched this far, like, thank you. So I, so our care plans, every 3 months, we do a sit down with caseworker and their supervisor and like talk about how things have been going and what's been going on and what are your symptoms and how are you dealing with it and whatever, and you write down stuff for the next 3 months. And a lot of it is a paperwork thing. You know, they have to say to the state that they've done these things and exactly when they've done them. And apparently exactly when they've done them is very important, because it so turns out that our care plans have to be this Monday, which is Christmas Eve. And I'm like, really? You know, and I was like, you know, the minute she said this, I'm like, oh, like, why do I want to be on a holiday talking about this? And I don't know why I feel so strongly about it, but I'm just like, why? You know, like, I just, you know, I want to just try to relax and hang out with Jess and think good thoughts about my family and try to just not be thinking about that I'm stuck living in this facility and I don't know, you know, like, and to just be like, well, this is we have to do this on this day. Never mind if it's Christmas, you know, it just, I don't know, it just hit me, you know, I wasn't expecting, I knew care plan was coming up, but I didn't think it was, you know, that much, and I don't know if it's that it's the exact day that it needs to happen on, or they, as in my caseworker and their supervisor, waited for my group of care plans, you know, so however they do it by whatever, you know, people's care plans is coming up, you know, for that group of it till the very last minute, and now they only have that day to do it, or if it's both, or if the state has put pressure on them, or if, you know, the director has put pressure on them to do it, you know, whatever. But I'm just like, so I asked them, I asked her, I was like, you know, well, what if we were on, and the other thing is she's on vacation, so she's not even going to be there, but I guess her supervisor can do it, so whatever. And I was like, so well, what if we were on vacation? Because, you know, that's a lot to ask to say that you have to do this on Christmas Eve, basically, is what I was trying to say. She was like, well, we'd have to do all this documenting and all this stuff and making it sound like they'd have to really go out of their way to do it. And then the minute you got home and you walked in the door, you'd have to do it that day. And I was like, okay, never mind. I was like, okay, I would rather have it on Christmas Eve. That would make more sense. When we do go on vacation, which I'm sure that Jesse and I will be able to go on vacation to see my parents at some point, even if we have to live here for the longest time. We're not going to go on a day with a care plan, that's for sure. But, you know, it just bothers me, I guess. I don't know, I'm just irritated. Because stuff here irritates me. That I guess, I don't know, just sitting there and talking about, you know, I'm doing much better, but it had nothing to do with them, really. You know, and so what are they going to do to help me? You know, not a lot. You know, they can't get my parents a new house and give them a ton of money so that we can move back, which is like the only choice I have. So, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'll do their thing, but it just bothered me that it had to be on Christmas Eve, I guess. You know, the holidays isn't the time that you want to be reminded of, you know, parts of your life that kind of suck. And this is a part of my life that sucks. And yes, I chose to be here and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I can still be upset about it. Okay, so that's basically how I've been doing. And I will sign off now. And I will do a separate video about Clayton, because I haven't done one in a while, and I wanted to tell people, like, just how things are in general, and I don't know, answer any, like, say more about what these places are about. I mean, I know I did videos about Albany Care, but I don't know if I've done videos about here, and, you know, yeah. So, anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.
Ribbon. Web. Stop button.